Got it. Did you get a notification?
Yeah, I clicked got it.
All right. I think we're live. Oh man, it's doing that thing. Okay, I gotta turn it.
Got it.
There we go. All right. We're live on YouTube. Don't look at the video. I'm gonna keep it over here though. But I've got some questions for you, Matt.
All right.
First of all, you've gained some popularity. You're on all the podcasts.
I thought you were about to say I've gained some weight.
No. Not gonna say that. You look good. You look good. You look like you're training not as hard as you used to.
No,
But
I'm not.
you're the type of guy you train twice a week and you're always gonna look fit. Is that what are you training these days now that you're so highly involved with Brute and coaching?
Yeah. Truthfully, when we got into quarterfinals training, I was probably training maybe 2 days a week, period, like off and on. And then when games training started, that
Zero.
went right out the window, man. Every second I had just to breathe, it was like I just sat in an empty room and just in silence, just to decompress. So now I'm 2 days in a row. So try to keep the streak alive tomorrow.
But are you including this golf that I saw you playing today? Is that your workout now?
No, I worked out at 6:30 this morning. I'm also signed up for our nutrition challenge that starts on Saturday as well.
Who's running that?
Coach DC, actually, one of our brew coaches at CrossFit Naples. So I got one of my brew coaches to move into Florida, and he's also now a GM at CrossFit Naples. So,
how many people have you got to move to Naples? You got Dallin. He's there officially, right? This new coach.
Yeah, so,
I think I saw Danielle's moving there.
Yeah. Emma moved down. Dallin moved down. James moved down. Now Dom is now coaching. Coach Dom is coaching at the gym more now. So Olivia Solik actually just moved down for him. So yeah, we got a pretty busy crew over there now. I think we got like 6 athletes. Fee Sagafi's about to move down soon.
Are you the demo athlete? You coach her as well?
Yeah.
She's tiny, right? I only saw her from afar, but she's like my size.
Yeah, like you two look eye to eye for sure.
She's stronger though. What about Tony Pino? Are you gonna get Jersey Tony to relocate? So we have to call him Naples Tony?
Yeah. You know what's funny is Nicole just texted me about Tony. She's like, we got to do these changes. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, okay, fine, we'll do it. Yeah, I want to get Tony down to Naples just to come down and train, check out the facility.
I text with Tony often, and he was like, you got to ask about the, Danielle and Dallin. I'm like, I'm asking about you, Tony. And he was like, please don't bring me up. I was like, well, now I have to bring you up.
Yeah, Tony is like, does everything by the book. Like,
it's paying off.
Yeah. I mean, the dude is like, from the time I started working with him to even to today, I mean, night and day difference.
Are you even taking new clients? If someone listens to this and are like, I want to work with Coach Matt, are you taking them?
Yeah. Honestly, right now I'm not, because there's a lot of big changes that are about to be happening soon. So I just want to prep myself for that. But if you guys are interested, my team, I have a really good team of coaches that would love to help you.
I want to say this. I've texted you before, but I sincerely mean it. I am incredibly impressed and proud of what you've done. And I think a lot of people only see the Coach Matt that's standing there watching on the sidelines. I don't know if it's when I left, you really blew up. So I don't know. I don't want to say I was holding you back, but when I was there for like 5 years in Naples, I've told you, like, I'd see you sitting at you had that like high table at North Naples CrossFit, and you'd go to the coffee shop, that one, what's that coffee shop you used to go to over by the movie theater?
I think you're thinking Narrative, perhaps.
Maybe it was that one. There's like a bike shop.
Oh, I don't. Fit and Fuel.
Fit and Fuel, right? You'd always post your pictures there, like staring at your computer. Dom as well, and then you kind of picked up a little bit training those teens, and now you still got some of the. I mean, all of your teens are now in the.
They're all professional.
Yeah, they're all professionals. So it's really just awesome. And I think a lot of people want what you have currently, but they're not willing to put in the work leading up to that. So you've done a great job, and everything you're getting now is well deserved. You know, hard to even get you on my podcast these days. You know, you're on Savant's podcast. I get it. I saw you on Invictus, but you're doing great things. You're doing great. How
Thanks, man.
This is what, Thursday? Are you recovered?
You know, I think so. I caught a little cold when I was up there in Madison, so you can kind of hear I'm a little congested still. But what's funny is when you get back into like your day-to-day life, I just felt ultra lazy. Like, I'm not even kidding. I was so like my brain wanted to do everything else in the world besides work. And sometimes it'd be like that, you know? It's like I have days that are extremely distracting, and I have days where I can just like grind out and do what needs to be done. But I think even those like distraction days, like for me, it gives me work anxiety. So I kind of like build like this kind of like energy where I get really nervous that things are not getting done, and I just like just try to get as much done as possible.
But this must be a downtime. I'm assuming Dallin and Danielle have off.
Yep. Yeah. So Dallin's gonna be heading out to Utah tomorrow. By the way, Crumble's opening up tomorrow in Naples.
Oh, is it? I mean, the first time you had it when you were here visiting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. So
where's it opening? Where is it in Naples?
Do you know where Hollywood 20 is? Like,
oh, like so far out into Naples.
Lowe's and Costco. You know Costco, right there.
Yeah.
It's on that little strip, like where Dick's Sporting Goods is.
That's actually pretty close to the box.
Right? Yeah. It's like it's like central Naples is the best way to think about it.
Are you gonna go there tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow for sure. So what's funny is Dallin's trying to hit that up tonight before he heads out to Utah. He'll be coming back September.
What is there, like a midnight opening? Is he really gonna hit that?
So it actually opens in about 50 minutes. So I think he's standing in line right now to be one of the first in there.
All right, wait. Well, while I got you on, then let me do a little. I just pulled up Crumble, so they might have some specials, but it looks like this week they got the standard milk chocolate chip, cotton candy, fried ice cream, lemonade, old fashioned donut, and walnut fudge brownie. Which one are you going with?
Probably cotton candy. I'm a kid when it comes to sweets, though.
Their sugar cookies are so good. You cannot go wrong with that because it's basically just a different flavoring of their sugar cookie on there.
Yeah, I agree.
But I
mean, you can't go wrong with any of them.
I gotta say, you were unimpressive when you had your crumble cookie at my place. You had 2 and you tapped out. You had 2 and you were done.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I wasn't anticipating.
You had the mud. For sure. You had the dirt one. I remember that.
Yeah, I thought for sure I was going to take more down, but I was very surprised on how filling it was. And yeah, it was just, I mean, it took me about 3 days to get through it all, to be 100% honest.
Did you see that I posted about that on Instagram?
About Crumble?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
So I said, Danny Spiegel won that sandbag, and then she said, what do you attribute it to, crumble cookie or whatever? And I wrote on the iPad, what you hear is I should eat crumble cookie. What you don't consider is like the training that this girl does and how she lives. And there's like this contingency of people that are bashing me for like disordered eating, and I'm shaming people. And part of it is they're like 200 calorie cookie, no big deal. I'm like, well, first of all, these cookies are 800 calories. So let's be clear. They're not your standard cookie. But secondly, people what's your opinion on it? Like, I think they're misunderstanding what I'm saying. Like, eat a fucking cookie, like go for it. Like, but don't think you should be doing it because you worked out for an hour.
I agree with you. I agree. It's like people see like, oh, I got to go get crumble cookie. I mean, the power of advertisement, right? I mean, I guess everyone wants to have a reason to be able to do what they want to do at any point in time. It's like, oh, I worked so hard for 5 days. I'm going to go out on the week, Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to like Friday night, I'm going out, happy hour. Saturday, I'm going out. It's like, I deserve this. It's like, well, do you deserve this? And it's like, I mean, I guess fitnessing is the same thing. It's, if you're going to make up an excuse to do something you probably shouldn't be doing, you got to know it's wrong.
That's a good way to put it up, right? I like that.
If you have the willpower to get one crumble cookie and cut it up into 4 sections, and look, it's still difficult to eat the whole cookie, and just go like one cookie per night or one little quarter, you're going to be fine.
Roz does that. Roz, when we go on like a Friday or Saturday, we'll get 4, 3 are mine, and then she will literally eat one over like 5 days.
Yeah,
most
that's how I am
whenever
we do it. Yeah,
most
tough, man.
So anyway, you were saying, this is an easy week. Dallin's heading back home to visit family.
Yeah, Danielle is in Vegas right now. She'll be heading this way. We're trying to get her down here before the end of August. But you know how getting a rental home around here is. It's damn near impossible. And then Emma's down here training. I'm trying to convince her to go on some sort of vacation. Oh, wait, she's going out to Hawaii. She's going to this like Hawaii like run thing that they do.
Oh yeah, the trail run thing that they did for one of the charities.
Yeah. So that's big because I remember like when she was driving me to the airport on the way to drop me off to head up to Madison. And I was like, dude, go on vacation. Like, don't train every single day for 365 days and like just go explore sometimes. Everyone else is going on vacation, right? The season's done for everybody. And she's been grinding it out for so long. James is heading back to Washington for a little bit. And then everyone's trying to come back around September, man. September is going to be the start of the season over here.
Is there a little sigh of relief on your end as the coach to get rid of these guys? Is it like school break, like summer break?
Yeah. It feels good. The last month and a half, man, was hectic. Like it was just, so with my schedule, how I do it is during season, I'll come in for one session, which is usually their biggest priority. And then session 2, it's their responsibility to come in and get it completed. Right. So it allows me to just continue to do all my other things outside of the gym, but give them the attention that they need as well. But then when we hit games training, it's super important for me to be there 2 sessions. And on Saturday, and Dom can attest to this, Saturday was 3 sessions. Like we would start at 7:45 and then hit up 12 o'clock, come back in at like 4 or 5. And dude, it was like zombies, like walking around everywhere afterwards. And just to be over that is a blessing.
But you need to do that because that's really what the games feels like, right?
Yeah. And it's like we're testing them so much during that time too.
So most people don't get to find this out. I want to know, as a coach at the games, what is your sleeping like basically from the time you get there until you leave? I imagine I know what time the judges have to be there, and almost every time the judges have to be there, the athletes have to be there. So that's a freaking long day. I mean, we're there at like 6:30 every day and we're not competing. So what is your sleep like?
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. We'll get there. 7:15 is usually athlete check-in, and then we're not done. Sunday was just like the easiest day in the world.
Oh man, it was nice to be done at like 2 o'clock, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's perfect. Other than that, the first day was 9 p.m. It's 7 a.m. to 9 p.m.
The most brutal day we've ever.
Yeah, Wednesday.
That was the day that ended with was that the Elizabeth one on Wednesday?
I think so, because then they moved the
running and jerk.
They're running to Thursday, which I kind of liked. I liked one workout on Thursday. It was cool.
Did the athletes like that, or would they prefer a full day off?
They like it. Like once they get in the groove of it, they just kind of want that motion and the energy just to continue flowing. If anything, they probably just want to get rid of the ceremony.
On Sunday, they just want to be like drinking a beer or something Thursday, at that point.
The Thursday ceremony.
Where they have to walk on the field and all that.
Yeah, because that's what they don't want to do is like be on their feet. If they're resting, they want to be like hanging out at the house chilling, or if they're on their feet, they're getting warmed up to do something. So, but I mean, they all understand how important that is. But anyway, we get home typically around like 9 o'clock ish, eat dinner. That's like usually a Chick-fil-A or a Chipotle. And then usually we'll go back and watch game film and then prepare for the next morning. And then it's lights out probably at like 12 or midnight, and then get up and repeat.
Did you guys all share an Airbnb like for the coaches and the athletes?
For the most part, yeah. Dallin and I and Corinne, his wife, Coach Dom and his wife, and myself, and then Micah, our podcaster. We all shared a B&B, and then Danielle and her agent, and then a couple of her team, like behind the scenes people, were at another B&B. But you know what Dom and I were talking about, man, is like, all right, so 2 people is tough. It's tough to do. Luckily it's a guy and a girl. So it's like I can give attention here, and then Dom can kind of trade off. And we did a really good job with,
And for those that don't know, Dom
between the two.
D'Agostino, brew coach, former, I mean, I don't think he was ever a regional level athlete, but he was a really fit dude in Naples.
Yeah. Yeah. So we did a really good job, but I was like, Dom, dude, what are we going to do next year if we have like 5? Like I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, we're going to need we're going to need like a mansion of a B&B. That's a lot of money. And then we're going to need more coaches. So I'm like, one of our coaches was on CrossFit OBA, one of the teams. Joey he's the dude with like the long beard. And I was like, Joey, dude, you got to retire from here, man, because we're going to need your help.
Well, that's when you see,
training.
Because every athlete gets a coach, right? So you just have to bring people down. Yeah, but we're already booking our stuff for next year because you know how it is. It's always tough to, get your place.
Such a headache.
So you say you watch tape. Why do you watch tape? Like you're not going to do that workout again. So what's the point of watching tape? It's not like football.
Yeah, right. For me, it's any sort of corrections or any sort of programming adjustments I need to make in the future. As it's on my mind when I'm watching it on film, I'm just writing down like notes on my phone. It's like, Elizabeth with Dallin. It's like more pressing, horizontal pressing, higher skill gymnastics, progressing gymnastics that were never progressed before. So, he really struggled on the legless pegboard. So it's just like me writing ideas as they're coming in my head. So as I'm rewatching it, I'm starting to see more and more things I need to apply going into next year. So for me, it's just it's an area where it's fresh on my mind. I can just take some notes for next year.
That's crazy, dude. You're in the middle of the 2022 games. You're prepping for 2023.
Yeah, man. As soon as we got into the car, after that Elizabeth event, which was pretty rough, I just started looking up parallel bars and like trying to figure out
everybody
which ones
was, yeah.
Trying to figure out which ones I can purchase, because those things are expensive. What? I had no idea.
And they take up a lot of space.
Yeah, those parallel bars that were on the floor, that's 10 grand a piece.
Yeah, I'm trying to look what Dallin came in. I'm sure you know. Let's see.
Yeah, I think it just says not good as his score.
He's a big dude. I mean, he's a big dude, right? For such a young kid.
Yeah. Well, there's certain priorities that every athlete needs throughout the year, and we hit all of them. Like, he's
39th.
He's moving faster.
Second to last. Yeah.
Yeah. He's moving faster. Everything is like much, much better. And then we get these like gymnastics that we've never seen before. It's like, how do you even know, like leading up? And it's like, oof.
I'll tell you how you know. You want to know how you know? Fitness in 100 words. Fitness in 100 words has it all. Pirouettes, right? On there. Yeah. What did you think about Boz's programming first year there?
Yeah. What's funny is in the after party, I saw him and I was like, hey, man, I just want to let you know, I don't care what events you give these guys. If they're not prepared for it, they'll be better prepared next year. Whoever is talking shit about these events, whatever. You don't like it. It's just because you can't do it, right? That's the only reason why you don't like it. Which fair, okay. But I was just like, whatever you want to bring it out, bring it out. We'll be better prepared. So, is it cool to see it progressing? Yeah, I think it's cool. You know, it is. Some of the athletes brought up a good point. It was like, it would be nice to have like a I don't know, not an like a list of things, but these are the things that we could potentially see. Because things like crisscross double unders, like imagine anyone stepping into the CrossFit gym the first time, they're like, all right, guys, we're doing double unders. How long did that take to learn? Right. And it takes just as long for these athletes to learn crisscross double unders if they're only learning about it like within like an hour block. So they had an hour, not even to get it down because everyone's like freaking out, right? I think it's like 30 minutes or so. And Boss said he's like, people are going to be frustrated on this workout. I think that was the one, or maybe it was the handstand push-up one. I don't know which one, but you know, it like to me, it seemed like he wanted someone to finish, and then luckily Nick Matthew did, and then Danielle could have finished if she didn't have to do 50 crisscross double unders.
She moved up in rankings, right?
Yeah, she took first on that one.
I'm having Boz on Monday, and that is one of the questions I have for him. And I kind of suggested, like you are, I said, that was a movement where if you would have posted 72 hours earlier, that you're just going to see it. We don't know where. It might be in the middle of any workout, but you should probably practice. Everyone's nailing them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know, I understand. Like I have a deeper understanding of where Boz's mind is and how true to like the CrossFit methodology it is, not as much to like the sport of CrossFit, like priority wise. And so I guess we just need to pay more attention to what we see. And it's amazing to me how that dude, JR, how did that. The dude from Crash CrossFit, he predicted like crisscross. He predicted legless pegboard. He predicted that there's going to be a heavy movement, but not a barbell. He predicted that there's going to be what is it? L-sit rope climbs. Dude, it was all.
Wow.
This was like this was like a week ago or 2 weeks ago before the games. It was amazing.
It looked to me, based on this program, that the athletes were a little less banged up than years past. Is that the case?
I don't know, because it was like it went like high skill in the beginning, and then it went to like challenging grunt work in the middle, and then it was like heavy AF at the end. I mean, Dallin can barely walk straight. Like he looks like, what's that little from Lord of the Rings? The thing is like
I
you
know
know what I
exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
That's what his spine looks like right now.
Yeah, that sandbag
then
probably beat him up pretty good, right? Just because you're putting yourself in awkward positions.
Yeah, it was like having try to get the sandbag here and then like let go of one arm. But and then Danielle's just like, yeah, I feel great. I don't know. I just did the CrossFit games, but everything feels fine in my body, which that's amazing. That's how we want them to leave the CrossFit games.
What are they doing to recover during the day and at night? Do you guys have like a massage therapist at the house? Or are you doing it?
Yeah.
Are you rubbing down Dallin most nights?
No, I'm just trying to talk him off a cliff, I think.
Hey, by the way, he did great. I mean, he's what, 20 years old? Is he 20?
Yeah. 20. Yep.
First year,
like
individual 19th place. Like that's pretty freaking phenomenal.
Yeah, he did really, really good. And I'm super proud of him. He knows it. I joke around a lot. I am serious the majority of the time when it comes to coaching, and then I like to lighten up the room a little bit. But Matt Stevens is one of our PT body worker guys that we have coming to that comes to game. So literally after an event, if there's enough time between, they'll head over to him, get their body work done. When they get home, they have the, what is that called? Like the Nortec boots on. And if it's not that, it's the stem machine, whatever it's called. So they're constantly, and honestly, the biggest thing Like that stuff is important, but nutrition is like far above and beyond most important. Like, because what you do on Wednesday, even though you're not hungry and you're nervous and whatnot, and you do it again on Thursday and you're not eating, by Friday, you're like half of yourself. Saturday, you don't even have energy to even like finish a workout barely. So nutrition is big time.
And when you say nutrition, primarily you're just saying getting the calories in.
Eating literally anything. Like Uncrustables were big for them this weekend. You know, Danielle will only eat strawberry. And look, strawberry is my favorite too. But if I got to eat, I'm eating just about anything. I don't even like, it doesn't even matter, you know. What else? We have a bunch of Sour Patch Kids, the world top athletes over here.
But they're just trying to, I mean, that'll get them so many calories. But then you mentioned like Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, like they're throwing down.
Yeah. Oh, they all have like their recovery. Their supplements is big. Having foods that are like through like the first step of digestion is huge because you don't want to be heavy in your belly. So a lot of it is like going to be, oats and like smoothies and protein shakes and supplements and carb supplements. So, it's super important, and they all know that they need to be eating, and their nutritionist is always on top of them about it.
Who are easier to deal with at the CrossFit Games, men or women?
Oh, probably men. I mean, in life, it's the same though. It's like
Easy.
I
Don't
don't
get
see
canceled.
I
Don't
don't
get canceled on this podcast.
I don't see my buddy for like a year, and he's like, "Yo, what's good, dude?" Like, yeah, no. It's we see each other for 15 minutes, catch up, and it's like, "All right, man, see you again this time in a year." And it's like we barely text each other. Yeah, I mean, it's not the same with women, you know. But hey, I guess everyone's a little bit different. I'm fortunate enough to have athletes that are, very level-headed, and if I know that they're stressed out about an event and there's an emotion inside of there that needs to be let out, I'm like, let it out. Like I'm not gonna cramp your emotion here. Like if you want to cry, cry. If you're emotional about where you finished, do it. It's like, you got to let it out. But once it's done, and I tell my athletes this in different ways is, when we get to the expo center, the moment you walk out, the expo center is like where they all meet up and like the briefings are and warm up area. And I'm like, when we get out of the expo center, this is behind, and we're thinking about the next event because we can't do anything about this. And we'll come back to it after when this is all done and talk about it. But we're not thinking about this anymore.
Which was the hardest event for that to happen? Like, for example, I think Danielle missed the lap, right?
Yeah.
Does that get easy to overcome,
No,
or something she beats herself up over?
that one was a little stressful because she didn't know, I didn't know, because I can't see anything. The camera is horrendous at the CrossFit Games, by the way. That's something you like. Watch Formula One racing, will ya? It's like the winner is like in the little corner right here,
Yeah, yeah.
and then all they're doing is winning. And there's no one around them. They're just winning on their own. It's the most boring thing to watch. And then it's like nothing else and then you know what's worse, man? They get to the finish line, the winner does, and the camera's on the winner. There's like 39 other athletes behind them that are doing things, and it's like just capturing the winner like bent over or like drinking water or something. But anyway, yeah, so I didn't see, because of that, I couldn't see any of the action. And so, we didn't really know what was going on. Everyone was asking, what lap are we on? Like they're all talking to one another on the bikes. Everyone's like, what lap are we on? Where are we at? Like no one really knows. And they're responsible of counting their own laps, like mistake number one. So that was kind of like an afterthought. I guess the workouts, each of them had tough workouts. Down was Elizabeth with traversing on the parallettes. And then Danielle's was, I think, the yoke at the end. The yoke, because she was in third place going into that one. And we knew that Horvath was going to do very well in that workout. And so we also knew that we needed to finish within like 12 spots of Horvath in order to be in contention going to the last workout. And it was too big of a gap. So those were both pretty tough for both of them.
How much are you guys looking at that, to say like, hey, if so-and-so comes in this place, there's X amount of spots? Because I think what people don't realize is like some of those people don't matter. What matters is that gap. If, like you said, if Horvath comes in third and I come in 10th, 6 people are between us. It's not their score that's matter. It's that gap that it's creating, right? So are you
Exactly.
sitting there doing that? Is that good or bad for the athlete?
We don't really necessarily tell the athlete that. What we tell the athlete is we try to get them in a good headspace. So it's like, hey, we wanted this, and we're towing the line here. Like this is a spot like we've never been before, right? And so that's kind of the chat that we get them into. And then behind that scene is Coach Dom, like all anxious and antsy, being like, dude, we're 48 points away from Horvath. Like, I know it's gonna be a tough event, but if she could just get to this before that, and if she could just finish there before this, I'm like, oh God, I'm like, I just want to see her lift this yoke right here, and let's see how smooth this one goes. So there's that behind the scenes, which, I guess like it's cool. I guess, it's kind of like a golfer. You can only control what you're standing in front of. If you're looking at the leaderboard, like you don't know that they're grouping 2 people behind you. You don't know how good that person's doing right now. But if you're focused on where you're at, and that's kind of where it is. It's like, just because the handstand push-up event went really shitty, by thinking about it during this, this next event, it's not going to help you. So we're just like, when we're in the back area, in the warm-up area, and we know the yoke is heavy and there's nothing we can do about it now. It's like, this is the strength that we have currently. It's like, we're saying things like, hey, let's take a little bit wider of a stance, to just widen out the base, just to be a little bit stronger, a little bit more stable, to see if we can keep the core a little bit tighter. Let's just carry it for quick steps, quick drop, rest, carry it, quick. And so we're trying to devise game plans for our athletes so that when they go out there, they can attack it. What's funny is after that sandbag event, it jacked up like Dallin's like QL. Like the side that he had the bag on was like taking a lot of that like pressure. And then we had the next day, it started off with the yoke carry, the deadlift one. We're in the back, and the dude couldn't even deadlift like 425. He tried it one time and he couldn't do it. Right. So he steps back and he's looking at me. He's like, oh, this is going to be interesting. And then Danielle's behind them. He steps up and she goes, come on, Dallin, let's go. Like cheering him on as if he's like in a gym, like he's going for like a 1 rep max. And it's the warm up area. And the bar outside was 475 for 3 reps. And he's like struggling to pull 425. And I go, all right, dude. When you go out there, man, it's not the most important thing in the world to pull that thing. Just don't worry about it, right? And I'm like, just don't hurt yourself. He goes out. He's one of the first ones off the yoke. It hits his cleans, pulls 3 times, comes back, and he's all hyped up about it. I think he took like, I don't even know, some good placing, like 15th or something. And he's like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what got into me, but that bar, it felt like an empty barbell. So, sometimes you freak out in the back and you just try to hold it. Other times your athletes can see right through you. Like when Danielle was trying that handstand push-up one, her first attempt, she goes down and does like a somersault off and looks at me. And I was like, I was trying to find the words as quickly as possible to say that would comfort her, that everything's gonna be fine. And I was like, she's like, oh, great. This is not good, right? This isn't good. I was like, this is gonna be interesting. Dallin just laid a big goose egg out there, and now I got Danielle here right now.
Where are you during those events in the stadium?
Sometimes I'm out in the stadium. So if you're facing the finish line, right? We're to the left. I'm like on the first level to the left.
Where the athletes come in? That side?
I think they may be coming from like the center.
Right.
And so where they come in from, we're to the left of them.
They give you seats as coaches to do that?
Yeah.
And are you supposed to just be out there for when your athlete's there and you kind of rotate with the other coaches?
Yeah. A lot of coaches stay. When coaches are nervous, they stay down there because they don't want the camera to be on them when their athletes like not doing as well as they thought. And then the commentators are like looking at them and talking about them. And you kind of see like the the distress on their face. So if that's the case, sometimes they just stay down.
Can you like make eye contact and are they looking at you during the events?
We can if we're at the finish line, it's easier, but I don't know. I guess you got to be a big time coach to be there because that's all I see when I look over there.
I always wonder who's like, yeah, is it somebody buying?
Yeah,
Some of those people buy those tickets at the finish line, but clearly some maybe family they let sit down there.
yeah. I'm not sure how it goes. I guess when my athletes get to that point,
They're
they can be
there.
like,
You got
hey,
fourth place. You got fourth. I mean, I would
Torres.
assume next year they got to be thinking.
Yeah, I mean,
a contender.
Cooper was down there at the finish line. Cooper always says, just act like you belong there and they'll let you in.
Your main two, or at least the two that were there, seem like polar opposites. Are they at the gym? I mean, Dallin's like 20, married from Utah. Like, your typical, is that Mormon? Is he Mormon?
Yeah.
Is he even allowed to have Crumble cookie as a Mormon? Is that legal?
Yeah, dude. So I could be wrong here, but I think Crumble first started in Utah at like Utah State, and I'm pretty sure that the franchise owner, whatever, the people that own the franchise, are Mormon.
I'm pretty sure Crumble is shadow banned on Instagram. Maybe that's why. You go search Crumble. Anybody listening, go search Crumble. It doesn't come up because I went and tagged them in that post the other day, and it wasn't coming up.
Yeah.
So maybe Instagram's anti-Mormon.
Wow.
They don't was that guy's name John Smith? Was it? Is it John Smith?
Oh, dude, I just brought this up today. Brigham
Young.
John Smith. John Smith. I think that's the right one. I mean, two of the whitest names out there. That's got to be
it. What'd you bring up about Brigham Young, or just bring up?
I think I was telling Dal, we were playing golf today, and I was like, "You better pray to your God." And I think it was like Brigham Young. I don't know which word I said. And then Dom was like, "I'm pretty sure it's John Smith." I'm like, "Dude, the joke passed. Like, we're so far away."
Who's better at golf? Who's the best golfer? You, Dom, or Dallin?
Well, James was out there as well. Today, I was the better of the four. I was proud to say that. Yeah, every time I go out there, it takes me like 5 holes to figure my swing out. I'm like, okay, now I'm back in it. Like, now I can be professional.
Are you playing that often these days?
Not necessarily. Well, down here in Florida, our golfing season for the locals is the summertime. Because all the rates drop down a little bit. So we always try to get out when we can, weekends like Saturday, Sunday. Well, obviously not Saturday, but Sunday. Last year, it was a lot. Last year at this time, none of my athletes were down. They didn't move into town until January. So I took as much advantage of golf as I could, knowing that it was not going to be happening, because it was like, I get these athletes down. Now this is my schedule every day. I'm like 9 to 11 is group 1, 11 to 1 is group 2, break. And it's like, then I got to do all my other stuff throughout the day.
Is anyone from like the Naples commerce reaching out to you? Like, it's a pretty cool thing. You've brought down like 5 professional athletes and more on their way. I mean, outside of what, like Cookeville and Nashville, where else is that happening in the country? You should. Is anybody they should be reaching out to you? That's a big deal.
Not necessarily, but I will say this: like the other day, one of my friends sent me a video. You remember Felipe's? The really good margaritas over there. One of my friends was over there having a couple margaritas, and she sent me a picture, and it was like the CrossFit Games on TV, and I guess the Miles to Madison of Brew being down in Naples was on, and she was like, "Oh, look, it's you on TV. This is so cool." And I was like, I had no idea that was on TV, but yeah, right on. How's that margarita?
Is that the movie that's going to be about this year's games? I heard you talking about that's how you found out Danielle was coming down, right?
Yeah, so that Miles to Madison is like the mini series, like the different stages, like the open and then quarterfinals. Okay. It's like a mini series. it was following like a few different athletes and training camps, and one of ours was one of the training camps selected throughout it. So it was just like being what is it, like replayed during the CrossFit Games. Apparently, I had no idea.
Do the Naples? I mean, for those listening, like Naples residents are just your standard old white people, but are they like? Do they recognize like we've got professional athletes like Dallin, Danielle, Phil, James, Emma? Like, are they recognized in the community, or are they just other?
Yeah, it's picking up steam. You know, like when 2 years ago, people were like, "So what do you do?" I'm like, "Oh God, here we go." I'm like, how can I? I've been trying my best to simplify this answer for years, and I've come down to I'm in the fitness industry, and they're like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then someone will be like, "Well, he owns a gym." Yeah, I do that. And another person will be like, "Well, he also coaches like really good athletes." I'm like, "Yeah, I do that too." And then someone else will try and be like, "But he's also a personal trainer." I'm like, "Well, yeah, I also do that." And it's like there's so many things in the fitness industry that I do. But now it's like people are starting to like, catch on a little bit. Um, you know, is the sport being recognized by people outside of our community? Potentially. If like obviously if it gets on TV like it is now, I think it will. I guess when I have friends that are like, "Holy shit, dude, you're on TV," like that's cool. Maybe that may help. It's like it's literally happening in your sleepy town of Naples. It's like a little beach town. Like obviously a buttload of money around here, but you know, little do they know that the fourth and the 19th, and even I would even say like the top 50 fittest individuals in the world are literally in this sleepy town, with more coming. Like, dude, I can't even tell you. Like, I guess I am pretty proud of what we've been accomplishing here because we have had more and more high level athletes reaching out asking if they can, move in. It's usually right around this time, man, that athletes are looking at their current like program and they're questioning everything. And they're usually starting to chat a little bit with people around in their team and everyone else. Like everyone talks as far as like who's going where, who has the potential of doing what. Like there's a couple athletes that are like, I know they're going to be leaving. They're not coming to us, but I know they're going elsewhere. So it'll be interesting to see how this 2023 works out.
That's kind of a new thing, right? I think like Katrin was one of the first ones to do that when she left Ben. And I think that's just the natural evolution of the sport, right?
It is, man. It's no different than like, I don't know, a tennis player leaving or like Tiger Woods left. I forget Hank Haney, I think his name was, which
You're
was
really into
like
golf right
his.
now, huh? You're big.
Well, I'm not big into golf, but I compare what I do to tennis pros and golf pros.
That's a good
It's like,
analogy, yeah. Because one
does Tiger
one on one,
Woods,
but you have multiple.
yeah, does Tiger Woods need a golf coach? And all these other amazing golf, like people would probably say no. Like, why would you even? But it's like the dude has a coach for one thing, a strength coach. He has a putting coach. Like he has all these things, and they go with him on all these tournaments as well. So, that's kind of where I put myself, categorically speaking, with my athletes as well.
Yeah, and I think you can relate it to like a UFC coach, right? Similar to that
Mm-hmm.
too, where they might have a handful of athletes with some different specialties.
Yeah, dude, athletes don't want to be their own coach. They don't want to think about if you're an athlete doing your own programming, it's like you're one step behind other athletes that have coaches. It's like that energy spent on doing that. I don't care how much you love it. I love it. It's still difficult at times. I still sit down and stare at my laptop for hours and I gotta go do something else and come back. And it's like, okay, I think I'll start here now. It's like imagine doing that as an athlete and then having the pressure to compete as well.
How much time do you think it takes to program for one athlete a week?
Depends the level.
Well, for your athletes, for a games level athlete.
For a games level athlete, during season, it's way more structured. I'd probably say for the entire week, maybe like 45 minutes for an
That's
entire
not
week.
that's not that bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Now, that's me where I'm at currently now. And programming for athletes, it's much more linear than what people would think. And so there is that aspect to it. And so once you write out the first week is typically like the longer, and then the weeks following it's a little bit easier because then you can just like fill in the blanks and make those progressions as you see fit. And then as we get closer to the games, it gets a little bit more complicated because I do not program constantly varied functional movements performed at high intensities. That's not it. Like, it's very specific to what they need to be working in on. But I also have to implement some, let's say, like competition style programming where it is varied events. And that's not my MO. I get stressed out over that. I don't want to feel like I'm writing competition programming for a month and a half, but that's how it is for the last month and a half leading up to the games. But other than that, it's usually pretty easy.
Just so neither of us get in trouble, let's give a shout out to your sister, Nicole. How's it been working with her and with her, having basically a physical therapist on staff?
Yeah, honestly, it's been super helpful. Nicole, she started her own business, the Resilient Athlete, which is also the Instagram handle as well. She's been working with my athletes since day one. They know that if they get any sort of ouchie, they're going right to Nicole. And they want to go back to Nicole because it's like, they don't want to wait and delay. It's like, I got to get this fixed right now. Like when Dallin twisted his ankle at Wadapalooza, it was 3 weeks of rehab and he couldn't run. He couldn't squat because of like weight being moved in different directions. He couldn't jump, like none of that. And so she got him back to where he needed to be and his ankle's healthy. But, she's worked with all of my, you name it, every single athlete, she's done work on them. And then there's that. We have recovery systems in place over here. We just got a lot of resources over here that keeps these athletes fresh. Not to mention, it is a whole different ball game when our athletes are working with us in person compared to online and remote. Like that is a game changer because I can't even tell you how many things I switch up on the fly where I'm like, that's not the stimulus that I was expecting out of that. Let me make a couple changes here. They're like, thank goodness, because that was rough, right? Or in other instances, this is recovery as well, too, man. Everyone deals with this. You come into the gym and they're like, dude, my hamstring's a little naggy. I don't know if it was from like the sprints we were doing or maybe like, a squat that was a little rough on it. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to make a couple changes here. We're not pulling off the ground today. We're not going to do anything explosive today. And then in 4 days, we'll come back. Hopefully it's chilled a little bit. Recovery, literally right there in the making. And there's little to no injuries that are happening throughout the year because of stuff like that. It's like the transparency that my athletes give me. It ensures that they're continuing to progress the correct way. I tell them, I go, look, guys, if you're hiding from me any injuries, any nagging pains, anything that you think is going to be hurting you, and then I find out about it later that it's been bothering you for a week, I'm like, I'm not going to trust you anymore, and I'm going to be programming things that I think you need in order to stop this from happening, which is basically saying like, I'm going to take it easy on you guys. And the athletes don't really want that. So it's like, unfortunately, I've opened up Pandora's box and they'll like, at some points in time, they're like complaining about everything. I'm like toughen up just a little bit for me. But for the most part, smart programming.
Well, this is even more reason Jersey Tony needs to move to Naples. Because I think he can make it. I think he can make a master's as a master's athlete.
He has the mentality. He's on the path for it right now. I think really like the thing with him is he needs to just like not try to do everything so fast at one time. And I can say this for everybody, like literally my athletes, I tell them all the time, it's like, it's a process. It ain't going to happen just by putting in a shit ton of things. It doesn't make it come any quicker. It's like, just do a little bit at a time, do what needs to be done, do what's most like your weakest points, and then we build a strong foundation, and then we can start to build up from there. But he's I mean, the dude is super cool. He does everything I ask him to do. He feels terrible when he misses a workout. He's like, I had to go to my son's t-ball game,
He's a big time little league coach. Yeah, it's not
he's
t-ball,
like
little league, Tom's River.
Yeah, I was thinking about my brother. He was like, my day strain was like 17.9.
He sends
it's like all I did was coach all day.
Hey, when I sent you that video a couple weeks ago, was that your college? Do you remember I sent you that video of Caleb Presley interviewing the head coach of, I think it was Central Michigan, for humping that shark?
Yeah, that's the current coach right there. I think at that time he was like an assistant coach or like a coordinator at University of Florida at that time.
All right. I think you would really like it. Have you seen Caleb Presley's Sunday Conversations?
No, not yet.
Go on YouTube later, like when you just want to chill out.
Yeah.
Sunday Conversation with Caleb Presley. It's hysterical. It's on Barstool Sports.
I think it's right up your alley. The long hair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that guy a lot. So when you said that, I thought it was a picture. I didn't realize it was a link.
Yeah. It was so he's like,
because I saw that video. I saw the video so many times. I was like, yep, that's the picture of like the current coach.
No, yeah, it was. But go down his like Sunday Conversation rabbit hole. It's Before we wrap up, somebody in the chat wants to know: Are we confirming Danielle is now a brute athlete?
She is. I want her to say it.
Okay.
We're confirming that I am her coach. I'm a brute coach.
And she's looking into Naples. She's looking into.
She's moving down. She's moving down to Naples. I can confirm it. She confirmed on her story that she's moving down to Naples. So that's all confirmed. She'll be training down here with us next year for 2023. So, yeah.
Are you still in Livingston?
No, I'm actually. That's Loudermilk Beach out there.
Oh, so you're like much closer. That's like
I'm downtown
much closer
now.
to the box.
Yeah.
You're beachfront now. Are you beachfront now? Is that what's going on with Brutes trading? Is that beachfront?
I wouldn't call it beachfront by any means.
You just turned your camera and I saw a beach. I mean, it doesn't get. Loudermilk's one of the best beaches too.
That place right there, that's beachfront, man. Like
just street over. You can walk to the beach.
Yeah, I can walk to the beach. Like where I'm renting this place right here, like those places on the beach. I mean, you know what it is. It's like astronomical.
One thing that I wanted to ask you. So you're at CrossFit Naples, and like 2 or 3 doors down is, I believe it's still Redline CrossFit, right? And Matt,
Redline Fitness.
But Matt, the owner, does he train with you guys? He's a really fit dude himself.
Yeah. So when I told all my athletes to come down, I was just like, guys, just come down. I'll figure it out. And so I didn't have a game plan. So we used to train at Redline beforehand, trying to find a spot to move into. So yeah, Matt was super cool. He let us train over there. So our early videos are all over there now. The Brute Gym is built out, and so now we're over there.
Gotcha. But a good relationship. Like I think a lot of boxes get angry at the box. There are probably very few affiliates that are that close. I mean, literally, what, 2 or 3 bay doors down?
Yeah, I'm like a 200-meter run away.
Yeah, and you guys get along well and serve different communities.
Mm-hmm. Completely different. Like what we do at that gym is completely different than when he does over there. Our price points are completely different. Our offerings are completely different. We run classes. I don't think they run classes. It's like an open gym over there. Yeah, it's, he's got his thing going on over there and I got mine, and, we both respect one another. We chat all the time. My athletes go in there and train. I even like when the Buttery Bros came down, we had to go over there to use their peg boards. So, it was, mutual respect between the two of us.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I hope both affiliates are successful, and it just shows just because there's a box, if anything, if one box is successful, it'll help another box be successful.
For sure.
All right. Well, I know it's getting late in Naples. You probably got to go to sleep soon. Or maybe, are you going to go ahead to Dallin get his cookies? Have you spoken to him? Did he text you that he got the cookies?
6:59 over here. He's got
Yeah.
1 minute till those doors open.
I hope he gets
I
one.
picture the doors opening. Everyone's like, and they're like trying to like push each other, like me first. And
I
then you
think
see
Dallin can
Dom
win
like
that. Yeah, Dallin
just
would
like
win that
moving
one.
like chess. He's just moving people out of the way, just picking up with their heads.
I hope he doesn't go for the lemonade. That's the only thing.
He'll probably go for the 4-pack because probably a 6-pack because he's leaving tomorrow. So he'll probably bring some on the plane.
All right. Good
can.
call for him. Yeah, that's going to be dangerous, but I think it'll help fuel your athletes year round now, and it gives me a reason to come back to Naples. Well, my parents are there, but they've been begging me to come back, and I'm just like, traveling with this baby is not fun.
I know.
We went to Cayman.
I know.
She was crazy.
You don't want to be that guy on the plane, and then you're just like, what do I do, guys? You tell me, like, what do I do with this?
That's literally what we did. The way the Cayman, she had a meltdown for about 5 hours, and we were just like, whatever. And then on the way back, she was good, but she was literally just running up and down the aisle. And I'm like, I'm that idiot now with a kid, But yeah, we'll be back. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, now that Crumble's there, even more reason. I'll tell my mom. I'll see her soon. Thank you for coming on. It's been great. I'm really, like I said, proud of all you've done. You've done, 2 athletes in the top 20 is phenomenal. Next year, hopefully 5, 6 athletes, and hopefully make it out of there alive. And give Dom a shout out for me, please. And let me know if there's anything we can do for you.
Yeah, man. It's nice chatting with you. We did more talking on this podcast than we did in the week at Madison.
There's no talk. There's no talking at Madison, right? I'm just like, we're in passing, and that's it.
Yeah, they make you guys walk in lines like you're in 5th grade. It's like,
awkward.
And then you can't even say anything. I'm just like, hey, dude. Hey.
Part of it, like, I'm also like, I'm aware, like, I know, like, I've competed in the past at like jiu-jitsu, a little bit of CrossFit, and everybody gets in their own headspace.
Yeah.
So I just don't want, like, for example, the last workout I had Vellner on the row, and like, I know him pretty well, and he didn't really, like, he like comes out, he's doing his thing, and I'm like kneeling by the rower, and he looked up and he's like, "What's up, Jay? Like, good to see you." And I'm like, just gave him a little nod. And then I text him like Monday. I was like, dude, I wasn't trying to be rude. I think that was an example earlier of like, he was in like 6th place. He's like, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Right. So he was in a different mood than, say, one of like Danielle coming out, who knows she needs a tremendous performance. But I'm just like, I don't want to get in your head 1 minute before you got to, destroy yourself.
For sure. No, I get it.
So cool. Well, again, it was great chatting with you, and I'll see you soon when we come visit. We'll probably be there before the end of the year.
Good. Christmas. Do it.
All right. You got it. All right, Matt. Thanks again for coming on.
All right. See ya.
I don't know how to end this now, Matt. I don't know how to end it.